I don't think you'll ever find my battleship. B6.
Oh, you hit my thingy thing. I don't know what that one's called. Sorry, Chief. Yeah, sure, there's a ton of women in high maritime positions across history.
How is that relevant?
Shh. Let me have this.
Okay.
C4.
Miss. Okay. Fine. Enlighten me. Go ahead.
That sounded very passive aggressive. I don't appreciate your energy right now. Anyway, one of the first recorded women admirals is of the Persians.
Persians? The people that attacked the Greeks?
Yeah.
Would that make them bad guys?
I don't know. It depends on what side you look at it, what angle you look at it. It's the same for like most things throughout history. Like the U.S. the bad guy. Like U.S. is probably the bad guys. But... Anyway, she was the daughter of a king of a place I can't pronounce. It's a very long word.
Shouldn't you be able to pronounce that?
That's irrelevant to the story right now. Long story short, her dad was a king. He died, and then her and her husband took over.
They must have had a baby.
They had a son. Can't pronounce his name either. These Persian names, can't pronounce any of them. Anyway, she became the queen of Caria, I think.
What?
I require your utmost attention right now for this. I think it's your turn too.
B7.
I hate you. The amount of hatred I have for you is very high.
Now who's passive aggressive?
Okay. Anyway, during this time, the king of Persia was like rooting her on and stuff. King Xerxes, maybe?
Oh yeah. 300.
No.
That movie, 300.
That's with the Spartans.
And the Persians.
Oh, yeah, I guess. I've never seen it.
Okay, continue.
Well, anyway, this king was like, I'm gonna give you command of a warship. And she was all like, okay.
Wait, she had experience commanding a warship?
No.
Isn't that different than a kingdom?
I mean, it's probably similar. I mean, you probably do it, right? Like, you're a chef, you could probably command a warship, I'm sure.
No problem.
Anyway, they went there. They had scuffles with Greece, right? Big scuffles. And then she was all like, maybe we shouldn't do this, blah, blah, blah. And the king was like, no, we are going to do it. And you know what happened? They lost brutally the Battle of Salamis. Salamis. Who knows?
Did she die?
No, she didn't. She died a few years after, though. But after she was rejected by someone she fell in love with, she flung herself off a cliff.
Whoa.
Yeah. Anyway, let's talk about pirates for a bit.
Cool. I love Jack Sparrow. Is he a real pirate?
No. Not what I meant by saying pirates. First recorded woman pirate was from Ireland.
Ireland? Leprechaun pirate?
No. Her name was Grace O'Malley. Grace O'Malley, she was like born into like kind of wealthy family. Also, A5.
Yeah, miss.
I'm really bad at this game.
B8.
Grace O'Malley, she was born in kind of wealthy family. In the sense that her father owned a fleet and her mother had like a ton of land. So when they died, she became rich. Well, she inherited it all and she had a very powerful presence in the sea.
Is that how this works?
Yeah,
with
she just
fleets?
inherited his fleet, yeah.
It doesn't sound like that's how it works.
I don't know. I'm not living then. O'Malley, she was captured by the British because they were all like, oh my god, let's come take Ireland over, you know? But before she got captured, she led a ton of rebellions against them. She did some damage on them. So they had a big bounty on her head. So when she finally got captured, they took this chance to take her son from her too. They captured her son, took him to England. She heard about it, and you know what she did? She hijacked a ship and went to England. And she ended up saving her son's life.
Just another normal day. Hijacking ships, sailing to England.
Yeah, just a regular, normal, perfectly normal day.
How'd she die then?
We are unsure of how she died. So, let's just leave it at that. The next pirate I'm going to talk about is from the China Seas. Qing Shi? I don't know. That sounds maybe right. I don't know. But the beginning of her life is a little bit fuzzy. There's a lot of variance in these stories.
Skip that then. What ended up happening?
Well, she married into piracy, okay? Through her first husband.
B9, by the way? Miss?
Yep.
Huh. Interesting.
She married her first husband. The name is unknown. He had a massive fleet, okay? Massive. We're talking about most of the pirates in the area were connected to him in some way. He died in 1807, leaving Qing Shi the fleet, so she became the commander of this fleet. This is the weird, gross part. She began a romantic relationship with her late husband's adopted son, Cheng Pao.
Why?
I don't know. Times were weird back then. It's very, very
Fair
weird. Cheng Shi, she's more known for her strict pirate codes regarding trade, goods, desertion, etc. Probably anything you could probably think of. It was probably covered by these codes.
Jeez.
But the fleet started to fall again, and then they started forming their own separate fleets. Cheng Shi and Cheng Pao, they agreed to royal pardons from the Chinese government, along with the condition that they hunted the remnants of their dissolved fleet.
Talk about playing the cards right.
When Cheng Pao died, Cheng Shi returned to the mainland, and there she remained until she died in 1844.
At least she outlived both her husbands.
F7. That was aggressive. That was very aggressive.
We're playing Battleship.
Okay, the next two pirates I'm going to talk about to you were kind of intertwined in a way. Their stories, they crossed paths eventually. So we'll start with Anne Bonny. She was born in Ireland as well, but she moved to South Carolina. There she met someone named James Bonny, and her father didn't like him, kicked him out. So they moved to somewhere called the Pirate Den, which is where a ton of trade routes came together in the Caribbean. And this is where James became a pirate informer to the government.
That's a thing?
Apparently. Anyway, Anne Bonny left him and met a pirate named Calico Jack. It's on board that ship that it's rumored she met another pirate, Mary Read.
Rumored.
Yes, rumored. All this history is unclear because it wasn't common that people would record this history.
Oh.
I prefer this version anyway. So Mary Read, this is the other one, the one that intertwined paths, one that crossed paths with Anne. So Mary Read, she was born in England, but she was born around the time that her half-brother died, okay? So her mother was all like, what am I gonna do? So she passed Mary off as her late brother, Mark. And she lived like that for a very long time. She even joined the military under the name Mark Read. And then after the military, she made her way into piracy by finding work as a sailor and then becoming captured and agreeing to join their ranks. Is it my turn or your turn? I think it's my turn.
G3.
It's my turn.
Now you hit me last time.
G3. False.
False.
That's not how that works. But not too long after she became a pirate, remember the guy Calico Jack from earlier?
Jack Sparrow.
Not Jack Sparrow.
Oh.
She became a pirate aboard Calico Jack's ship, and she met Anne Bonny. They had an instant connection apparently, and they created a very prominent name for themselves in the pirate world. Their ship was captured by the British government though. Everyone was tried with piracy, and everyone was hung. Except for Mary Read and Anne Bonny, of course.
Everyone?
Yes, that's what used to happen back then. And they got out of it by using pregnancy as an excuse, but it's unclear whether or not they were pregnant. What comes next for both these people, it's kind of blurry, you know? There's no record of what happened to Anne Bonny after they got captured, but it's thought that Mary Read died while in prison.
Whew, that's rough.
Anyway, let's drop the pirate talk. Continue on our game Battleship real quick. Let's go with F8. Anyway, let's talk a little bit more recent history, you know, like in the last 100 years. Let's talk about the first woman 4-star admiral and the first African-American woman to command a ship. Admiral Michelle Howard. Her father was in the forces, so it's said that that influenced her a little bit to join the forces as well. She attended the U.S. Naval Academy in Annapolis, Maryland, and when she graduated, she was one of 7 African-American women to graduate.
7? 1 of 7.
Yeah, it was very recent that women were actually even allowed into the academy, and African-American women being more, yeah. She did 2 sea tours after she graduated before she received the Navy League Captain Winfred Collins Award, which is awarded to 1 woman officer a year. And then in 1999, Howard took command of the USS Rushmore, and she became the first African-American woman to command a ship in the US Navy. She ended up using that as a starting point and continued to serve and command.
That's pretty cool.
Then, in July of 2014, she was promoted to a 4-star admiral and appointed Vice Chief of Naval Operations, retiring in 2017. It's pretty cool. She paved the way for a lot of people and was a symbol of hope.
Well, thank you for this. Now I know much more about this subject than I ever thought I would have.
That sounded really sarcastic.